Today we're talking about this handy but cute upcycled craft tote. You ready? So many of our projects begin right here in a thrift store aisle, where forgotten things wait for a second chance. When I spotted this white and gray striped sheet, I knew I wanted to repurpose it into fabric yarn immediately. So back home, it's time to create some yarn. This is an important step towards taking something old and making something new. Crocheting with fabric yarn is always a little magical. One minute it's just strips of an old sheet, and the next it becomes structure, texture, purpose. My mom and I started this whole sheet to bag adventure together, and one of my favorite things is sitting next to each other while we crochet and connect stitch by stitch. This craft has become our shared language, a way to slow down, breathe, and create beauty from the overlooked. As the tote grows, I love watching the stripes come alive again. They remain subtle and understated, a great trait in a craft tote. And this tote will be sturdy, simple, and full of quiet character, proof that you don't need new materials to make something meaningful. One thing I always remind people is you don't have to make a bag. That's just what I love making. But the beauty of using thrifted sheets is that they can become anything you imagine. A colorful rug for your kitchen, a soft textured wall hanging, a basket, a bowl, coasters, placemats. The list goes on. The point isn't to follow my pattern. The point is to stretch your creative muscles, to take something old, something overlooked, and transform it into something that feels like you. This whole mother-daughter journey has taught me that creativity doesn't need to be perfect or fancy or even planned. It just needs to be yours. And when you give yourself the permission to play, experiment, and repurpose, you start seeing possibility everywhere. That's the real magic. Now comes the handle. I always laugh because, surprisingly, this is one part my mom and I almost always agree on, and we have very different taste. So I have to laugh when we both think, yeah, that's the perfect fabric. With the wide handle attached, the tote starts to feel whole, a simple, functional piece made from something that almost slipped through the cracks. And now my favorite part, filling it. Yarn for the next project, the hook I always lose, a notebook full of half-formed ideas. Whatever works for you. This tote doesn't just hold craft supplies, it holds intention. It holds the mother-daughter story that brought me here. It holds the belief we share. We make something beautiful out of what's been forgotten and remind others they can too. If this inspires you to make a bag of your own, I hope you'll join us in this little community of slow, sustainable creativity. Share your thrift finds, your makes, your stories. You might be crafting alone, but you're never creating in isolation. Together, stitch by stitch, we can give old things new life, one handmade bag at a time, one thrifted sheet, one story at a time. Lovebird and Yaya.